Well, can you hear me now? Can anybody hear me? Is anybody there? Jeez. Take two. You know, this is like birthing a baby, my first live on YouTube. Take two. I don't know. Please, somebody log in here in a minute and tell me if you can hear me because there was no sound on the first one. Well, I don't know. Somebody's here. We got sound yet? We have sound? Yes, no, yes, no. Somebody let me know. I hope. Yay! Okay, Janine, thank you for being loyal here and hanging in there with me. Oh my goodness, that was painful. Thank you. I have no clue why that didn't work, but thank y'all for being patient. Woo! Okay, I got one more. I know at least one more person's coming, and I'm not gonna wait too long, but thank you. So, Janine, where are you from? Tell me where you're from. I love hearing that about people. It seems like an American name. Where in the United States are you? I'm guessing. Ohio. Ooh, you got it cold up there. We had a Arctic blast here last week. Southwest Ohio. Okay. I've been through Ohio. I've never spent much time there. I'm in, deep South Alabama. Well, all right. Come on, my friend. Juanelle was on here. She was kind of doing a sound check with me earlier, so I'm expecting her to join here in a second. But I'm glad you're here. Thank you. And of course, we want to start out by toasting here to all my peeps that got me to 1,000. I did my transcription for a hospital in Montgomery. Oh, did you? Well, that's not that far from here. Yeah, Montgomery's only like an hour from here, south of here. Yes. That's cool. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. I never doubted it was going to happen. That's the interesting thing. I mean, it's just, I didn't set that necessarily as a goal other than I wanted to do something to say thank you once it happened. So here I am, and it surprised me and not at the same time. So here's my official toast. Janine, you're here. I'll toast with you. Congratulations. I have something stronger than water later, but for now, so thank you for being one of the 1,000 that got me here. All right, so I don't know if anybody else is going to show up, but me and you will get this party started here. So what I want to talk about tonight, now that I know somebody can hear me, is to start anyway with these. So I get information in my own way. Every reader, medium, psychic, and there is a difference, gets information in different ways. In fact, I wonder if, thank you. Oh, you got my coffee. Yay, coffee. I almost brewed a cup of tea, but I didn't at the last minute. I said water's better for me right now. So we use different kinds of clairs. There are 8 clairs, and I use several. Some other mediums, readers, psychics use different ones. Oh, yay! You made it. Is it Robertson Wannabe? Okay, good. Yay, you made it. You made it. Yay. Thank y'all. I was just saying thank you for getting me here, and I appreciate everybody that watches my videos and looks at my wrinkly hands and face and whatever, it is what it is. But so I'm just going to talk for a minute about this, and then we'll move on. But this is an interesting topic to me, and actually, when I thought about doing this, I thought about doing several conversations, things to talk about, and I'd like to know, of course, what y'all want to see and hear and me talk about in the future, because I'd like to do more of these. But what came to mind is just a real quick overview of the clairs. So there are 8 that I know of, and I didn't know what a couple of them were called, so I wrote them down so I didn't forget. So there's clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, clairsalience, clairgustance. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Never heard of that one. I mean, I know what it was. I didn't know what it was called. Clairtangency and clairempathy. Who knew, right? So clear seeing. These are all a preface. Clear, that's what the clear part means. So clairvoyance is seeing. So like when I'm doing a reading, I see things not like over there, but I see it in my mind's eye. Like if you were, and you can do this even if you don't have to have your eyes closed. If you, for example, have your eyes open and I said to you, picture a picnic, and your mind would automatically go to your perfect idea of a picnic, maybe the checkered red tablecloth, whatever. So it's kind of like that. When I'm seeing something, it's like that in my mind's eye. It's not out there, it's inside my head. Clairaudience is hearing. And so for me, I also get that. I hear things. I hear like a conversation in my head, like when you're talking to yourself in your head, like that. I had a friend of mine that gave me a t-shirt one time that said, I do what the voices in my head tell me to do. One of my students gave me that. Anyway, clairsentience is feeling. So that would be if someone, died of a, I don't know, heart disease or you might feel that pain in your chest, or if they had COPD or some kind of lung thing, you might feel that difficulty in breathing. So that's what that is. Claircognizance is I just know something. I just know that. So for me, I think that's a part of one of my. I'm mostly 4 of these. Is the ones that I use. So the what was I doing? Claircognizance is the knowing. It's just, I don't know how I know. In fact, some of my friends have said to me, I would just in conversation, like my friend who was on here a little while ago, she was taking a trip. I don't think she'll mind me telling this story. And she was planning the trip and she was telling me she was going here and then she's going there and then she's going to North Carolina to visit her brother. And it just, before I thought about it, came out of my mouth, well, that trip's not going to, I don't think that's going to go as you think it's going to go. Well, I didn't know what was going to happen, but some things I find that I know things I don't know I know. And what happened was she got there, but before she literally landed and was getting ready to deplane and found out her brother called and said, I've got COVID, you can't come. So she got in the car and came to see me instead. So that's just that sort of that inner knowing. Most everybody has that. I call it your intuition, right? So we know that. Clairsalience is smelling. Now, I don't have that very often, but I have had it. For example, my brother smoked a very sweet smelling tobacco in his pipe. And sometimes I have smelled that and I knew that was him. And for example, for my father, I associate with cigarette smoke, and hardly anybody smokes anymore. So I rarely smell that. And particularly in my own house, because I don't smoke. And so when I smell that, I know it's my father. So just things like that. Or if you're doing a reading and you smell that, I've gotten that too, like this person was a smoker, because I associate that smell. This was a new word for me, clairgustance. I didn't know that was what this is called, tasting. So it would be like if you suddenly get a funny taste in your mouth, or maybe you're doing a reading about someone and you started tasting alcohol, or you started tasting, I don't know, donuts, whatever. That would be a clue for you in your intuition of what that was about. That's giving you information through. Oh, good question. I'll come back to that. Yes, I will come back to that. So which one were we on? Oh, and clairtangency is touching. For me, that would be like if suddenly you felt like somebody had touched you, but there's nobody there, that kind of thing. And then clairempathy, I think, is self-explanatory. It's feeling what somebody else is feeling. And my first real lesson in that one was when I first started, not when first, but along my journey, early days. I went to the grocery store one day when my kids were little, and they were at home, and I went to the grocery store and had my groceries, was waiting in line, and I had felt good. I'd had a good day. I was in a good mood. Nothing at all was wrong. And I got in the line, and they were backed up. There's a person in front of me and 2 or 3 people behind me. And I started feeling awful and yucky, and my mood changed, and I just felt crappy and cranky. And it was in that moment that I realized, because I knew intellectually that wasn't me, but it took me a minute. And then I said, oh my God, that's the person standing behind me, that I can feel their energy. And so be aware that when you go places and you're around other people, you may think that's you. In reality, it could be the person standing next to you. So that's just a quick little tidbit on the clairs that I thought y'all might find interesting. Now let me get over here to can you turn off your abilities, clairs, or are you always aware of it? Now, you're asking me personally. I had someone say they can turn it on and off. If that is what we do as children, do we sometimes cut the pattern? Okay, that's several questions here. So I don't know if you're asking me if that's a general question. Can you turn it on or off? Yes. Me personally, yes. That being said, when you're wired a little differently, like somebody like me, maybe, it's kind of like the background noise. It's kind of there, but you have the option to turn the dial up or not, I guess is a way I could describe that. But you have to, is if you do this work and you don't learn to turn it on and off, you'll be in a hot mess. Yeah, I'm just going to say that. You'll be a hot mess, because it can take you over. It can just, yeah, it's just too much. It's just too much. So let me add that a little bit. Yes, and let's see, what was the other part of your question? Children, not so much. When children are born, they are still very connected to the other side. And when they come in the first several years, 5 or 6 maybe, it's more prevalent up to about 4, and then 5 or 6, they start losing it. It's more that they learn. It's not that they can't do it. It's just they learn that it's not normal. Many of them, that's what it is. But you become more immersed in the physical world. And of course, if you've got parents telling you things like, oh, there's nobody there, you're not seeing anybody, you made that up, you just this imaginary friend is in your head, there's nobody there, those kinds of things, then that child is going to shut that down. So it has, I think, personally, a lot to do with who is sort of are you in a nurturing environment or not for those abilities? And for those lucky ones, those abilities would more likely stay open as you age. I did not have that. I'm not going to get into a whole long story about me, but I did not. I did not have that kind of background to nurture those abilities in my youth. I'll just leave it at that. But hey, it's never too late, right? And then cut the pattern. Well, if you're referring to cutting the pattern of seeing, since anyone with you right now, oh, for me, Robert, I knew y'all were going to ask me that. I knew. I will come back to that. Cut the pattern. So I think what you mean, Robert, is can the children cut the pattern of seeing and hearing things? Well, I think my last question probably addressed that. Yes, they can. Oh, no, okay. Thank you. Naomi. Thank you. Am I saying that right? Naomi? Yes, thank you. So it's something that we can cultivate, even because everybody's born with. Thank you, Naomi. Everybody is born with intuition. It's part of the human package, part of the gift of being human. We all have it. Y'all have it. I have it. The neighbor has it. The postman has it. Everybody has it. It's a question of whether you have given yourself permission, number one, and if you have skills, or rather, not skills, resources to cultivate it. For me, my biggest one was meditation, and I go do it. Go do it. Just do it, right? Just do it, Nike. It is life changing, and it has for me. I've been meditating for about not quite 35 years. Yeah, I have. 35 years I have been. And so, speaking of intuition, my teacher started us and we would do workshops and whatever, teaching us how to access it early on. And with no tarot cards, none of that, we would just sit and, like, one of the ways he did tell us many ways, but there's one way he would just pair us up with different people, complete strangers. You didn't know them, maybe you knew them, maybe you didn't. And then somebody would sit down and they would say, you just say one word, first word that comes out of your mouth, one word, and then the other person had to do a reading for that person based on that one word, which is kind of cool. So I've just approached this from a lot of different ways for me. And then more recently, I got into, tarot cards, but the intuitive part is something that I've enjoyed exploring other ways. All right, let me see here. Let me catch up with y'all. Hang on a minute. Well, Naomi, listen, let me tell you, that is a big, when you're asking about shutting it down, that's one of the big reasons a lot of people don't have it. They have it. They don't allow it. It's like, if you are scared of it, that's the quickest way to shut it down. I'm just going to be honest. That's the quickest way to shut it down. So if you want it, it's kind of like a lot of things in life. It's how you frame it in your own mind. Okay. So it's like, I used to give this example to my students. I'm driving down the road. I've got to be somewhere, at a certain time. I've got an appointment, and I get some guy pulls in front of me, makes me catch that red light, and I have to sit there an extra 2 minutes or whatever. And I'm angry, and I'm, wow, why'd you do that? Why, doggone it, I had to be somewhere, and you get off whatever we do. Well, what if, and I used to call this my students, I would tell them, just play the what if game. What if that person that just pulled in front of you and caused you to catch and have to stop at that red light just saved your life, because half a mile down the road, there was a traffic accident that would have been you. So that relates back to the intuition. And do you know that it's a bad? I mean, are you thinking about it like it's a bad thing? Because it can be really, really helpful if you learn to, if you can be okay with it. So I would suggest to you, if there's something you could do that would give you a sense of comfort and peace about being okay with it and using it, then do it that way to start with, and be more, and it'll help you build confidence. For example, build in a protection ritual. And there, you can go online and research this. There's lots of them, but it's very simple to do. And it can just be a quick prayer. It can be a visualizing yourself in a bubble of protection. It can be, whatever ritual thing that you want it to be. And in your heart and your mind, that when you do that, you're protected. So I would say maybe start with something as simple as that, and see kind of how you feel about it, and see if that helps you sort of let your guards down a little bit. Because it's a very vulnerable place to be. I get it. Nobody gets it more than me. It's a very vulnerable place. So I understand your concern. I really do. But that's a big part of being able to feel it. Feel all those clairs is you've got to let your guard down and you've got to be okay with feeling what comes in. And then with time, discernment will help you and experience determine what's yours and what's somebody else's, like the story that I told. Okay, let me catch up with you here now. Hmm. Oh, good. Rage. That's fabulous. Yes, and that, again, you're making my point. I think if you know and believe in your heart that you are protected, that is a kind of protection. It really is. It's a kind of protection. It's, you know that, I know that. I had another subject I was thinking about talking about, so I won't go into that. But it is that it's a confidence, but it's also faith. I know where my readings are coming from. I know I'm not connecting with anything but light. And if something else comes in, I have the choice whether I deal with that or not. But I know that because of the prayer that I do, that if it's coming in, it's for the good, the greater good, in other words. And so you have to build a relationship with your team, whatever you call that, your angels, your guides, whatever, and have a discussion with them about those abilities and what you're willing to accept and what you're not. Okay, let's see. Well, Naomi, I think it's okay. Let me 1 second. I think from the time of from 6 to 8 years old, you had some trauma in your life. Yes or no? You can let me know in the comments. But you had something that might have caused you to shut down. Now, it doesn't have to be traumatic like abuse or anything like that, but there was something that happened to you. Okay, thank you. That helped you, not in a good way, but caused you to shut down. All right. And so sometimes you might, your choice, sometimes you might want to go back and look at that and realize and do inner child work. I know that's a very overused term. It's also called shadow work. But if you can't go back there, then you might associate, like I'm reading from your message here, you're making a negative association with being vulnerable, with being able to feel things because of what happened back there. So that's back there, and you're here, but it's still affecting your ability to do that. So that may take some inner work, and I highly recommend, again, just sitting in meditation. When you sit in meditation, it connects you. It really connects you to whatever you believe in that's greater than you are, whatever you call that. And that can do a lot of inner healing it's hard to see with your eyes, but trust me, 35 years of it, it's done wonders for me. Oh, good. I'm glad you don't see it as negative. Well, I think that what's weird about that is probably your 3D mind struggling with, what a part of your soul, shall we say, whatever you want to call it, your higher self knows, that everything's okay over there. That's probably what that is. Now, I want to come back up here. Janine, was it you that asked me about sensing you want a visitor? Well, I have a special approach that I do for doing readings for deceased loved ones, and it takes a little bit of time. I know y'all just see me turn the camera on, and voila, I'm there, but there's a whole lead up to that. And so it's a little more difficult. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but it's a little bit difficult. So let me see. Bear with me here. Janine, I see two women for you. You have an older, I feel like it's your grandmother for one. Is your mother passed too? I'm seeing two women that were related that have crossed over. Can you verify for that for me? Um, did I say Janine or Nate? Yeah, Janine. Okay, you're saying yes? Okay. All right, hang on just a second. Y'all have to be patient with me. I'm not Western Union. Okay, let's see. So they're here. What do they want to say? What would you like to tell her? Are you allergic to grass, or somebody was allergic to grass, or somebody had an issue with somebody cutting grass? Okay, was somebody, can you verify that for me? Did anybody have an allergy or something to do? There was something about cutting grass. Were you scared of the lawnmower or somebody? I don't know what that means, but and okay. Kentucky bluegrass. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. There was a joke about an Easter basket and there being grass in it too. There's something about grass. I don't know. That was between them or between you or something about the grass, and just be sure it's fake grass or something like that. Okay, that's funny. That's funny. All right, let's see what else. Then we'll bring anything else. So one of these ladies is a bit taller than the other one, or one is a bit shorter than the other one. A bit, not a lot, but a bit. Maybe a head difference. This other one's not saying much. The shorter of the two is the one coming through. Hang on a minute. Okay. She's the predominant one coming through, the shorter of the two. She's the one coming through. I'm trying to get something more specific for you, but let's see. Did she do this funny thing when she laughed? She kind of covered her mouth and did this. Did she kind of do that? Or somebody in your family did that? She kind of giggled like this? Like, somebody did that or does that. And did you just move or are thinking about moving or about to move? Somebody in the family's moving? Do you have a brother? I don't know. I just heard brother. I think maybe, okay, your daughter moved. That's all right. Because she's telling me she's looking over whoever that is that just moved. She's watching out for them. Two brothers. Okay, there's just one. She's just talking about one. Did one of your brothers, again, I don't know the timing on this, either is about to have surgery? Because she's telling me it's going to be okay. Whatever's going on there with health. Okay, good. She's telling me it's going to be okay because I know y'all are worried. I would be. Yeah, she's just telling me she's there. She sees what's going on. She just keeps saying it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. All right. Anything else? Now this? I guess it's the same brother. Does this brother have two children? Okay, a boy and a girl, right? One of them got sick around the same time that the dad had to have surgery, I believe. I want to say it's the girl. I'm not certain which one. Okay. One of them was sick or getting sick or was afraid to tell anybody they were sick because they didn't want to affect the dad's surgery. Something about that. Something to do with that. Okay, the son. Okay, the son. Thank you. All right. So this is just her way of letting you know these little things that come through like this, that she's watching. She sees everything that's going on. This is what they do. Just to let you know that they see they're there. They're not here in the physical. They're still there watching over you. All right. Oh, well, and that's interesting. And that's why I was talking to my friend who was on the earlier one. I'm going to give her a hard time for not coming back. Because I knew this was going to come up, but not problem, I don't want to phrase it that way. Let me reframe that. My challenge is any good medium will tell you. I mean, I don't care if it's John Edward or Matt Frazier, any well-known good medium will tell you, we're not in charge of who shows up. I can have 10 people in front of me and you all have somebody you want to talk to, and none of those show up, but somebody else does. So it's I don't have control over that. Now, that's a whole other interesting process, because you're very welcome. You're very welcome, Janine. I really feel that's maybe in a whole other video we'll talk about the difference between channeling versus reading somebody that's coming through like I just did for Janine. And y'all tell me, I'm going to go back and watch this video. I keep seeing orbs flying all around. I don't know what if y'all are saw them or just me, my eyes. But that's why I hesitate to come on here and say, oh yeah, let me read your deceased loved ones for you, because I don't know if anybody's going to show up. I really don't. But I'm glad somebody did. I'm so glad. Okay. Now, what we got here? Let me catch up. Oh, did you? Oh, awesome. Okay, I got to go back and watch it for sure then. That's so funny that you asked that. Yeah, probably. My brother helps me. Y'all have seen I don't know if you heard me say this. I've talked about it in a couple of videos. The feathers that I have, that when I do the overhead videos, when I'm doing the card readings, or of course, let me back up. I also do tarot readings. So I don't know if you've seen any of those, if you only done the deceased loved ones reading. But anyway, I have the camera overhead and I have feathers there. And the feathers belong to my brother. He was as American and pasty white as I am, but he was inducted. It was a great honor. He was inducted into a Native American tribe. And those were, his treasures. And birds and feathers are a lot to do with communication. And he and I had behind you in the picture. Oh my God, that's awesome. Yes. And so he helps me. Anyway, those were his, and I honor him, and I know that he's here. Sometimes you see this back here. This is where I do the tarot readings, and that's the window that I look out of. And oftentimes he comes to me, bluebirds will come and sit. There's a downspout right next, you can't see it, but anyway. And they will sit, and instead of looking out into the grassy area, they're looking in at me in the window like, you going to get this right? So I know that's my brother. Yes, and his ashes are right here. So that's probably who that was. Thank you for that. You just gave me a big gift tonight. Now I want to go back to yes, I know. A lot of people say cardinals, but for me, it's bluebirds. Some people, it's feathers. There's so many cool things. Coins. Sometimes they leave coins. I don't know. Just I asked for certain things oftentimes from people. If I think there's somebody specifically that I know had a particular affinity for something, I will say, well, if that's you, show me so and so. And you can do that. Now let's see. I wanted to just ask real quick now and see if there's anything, if you're still here, you hopefully, if there's anybody that might come through for you. Was there by chance a big round man that has crossed over for you? Middle age. Did you, okay, is that yes? Okay. All right, let's see what he has to say. He did like his food. Did you used to get onto him about that a bit? Lovingly? No? No, this is somebody on the other side. It's not you. Somebody that's crossed over. Yes, I'm talking to you. Naomi, I'm talking to you. Okay, yeah, not you, Janine. I'm talking to Naomi, yes. Let me see. Not me, not for you. Okay, are you alone? Is somebody else with you? I'm shouting like I need to shout. I'm sorry. Like you're in the next room. Okay, what I'm asking is, right now, are you alone? No, you're okay. So you're by yourself. Anybody else in the house with you at all? Okay. Because sometimes if anybody else is in the house, this could be somebody else's relative. I'm sorry. The way it works. Like I said, I'm not in charge. It's a big round fella. Not real tall, big round fella, darkish hair. Okay, are you going to go ask? Well, if wait, hold on, let me ask. Well, whoever this is meant for, it's kind of hard because so if it's not you, maybe this. Okay. If it's not, let me just give the message and then you can ask him later. It's a him, right? Yeah. Whoever this was that knew this person, they used to give him, rib him, is what we would say, tease him about not eating so much, not, enjoying his food so much. But it was out of love. I mean, it was out of concern that, it was detrimental to his health. Let me see. Excuse me. I want to say he was Italian. He kind of, I don't know. What else? Why are you here? Inquiring minds want to know. Okay, there was something about a dog. So I don't know. This is why I really love it if that person could verify this for me, but I'll just go off on a tangent. If it's not him, then don't worry about it. We're not always right. Something about a dog. And so I don't know if this, I want to say it's not this person that crossed over's dog. I don't think. It was almost like he liked to visit when you visit, I think it belonged to the other person, whoever this is for. And he liked the dog. He kind of wanted a dog, kind of wished he had a dog, but he didn't want the commitment. I think he didn't like the walking, having to walk him out. I don't like that in cold weather either, but there was some connection with this person and a dog, and this person that's crossed over. Could be the guy died and left him his dog. I mean, that's possible. I just don't get more than that than the dog. Wait a minute. Okay. The dog is here. That's what it is. The dog is here. All right. So this could mean the dog crossed over and he's telling him, I'm taking care of your dog. That could be what that means to whoever that message is for. Okay. Could mean, don't worry, I got it. I got your dog here. I'm taking care of your dog for you. So if he had a dog that crossed over and he knows anybody that fits that description, that could be what that means. I love it when pets come through. They're fun. Let's see, what else? Thank you, Janine. Thank you. I'm just not getting much more. We'll probably help bring the energy in if he was here, but it's not a big deal. But if it is, I would love it if you would come back later and comment on the video and let me know that. It would be appreciated. Just trying to see if there's anything else. Now, 10 minutes. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you. However, would you like me to comment for you? Well, I can ask, but I'm not in charge. I mentioned, you mean of these two or somebody else? Robertson, anybody? Robertson in the house? Is Robertson in the house? Now I'm going to ask you a personal question. Please feel free not to answer. Are you estranged from your dad, or do you kind of not talk to each other? Okay. Because I'm getting more about you than anybody that's crossed over, and I'm sure there's a reason for that. So, okay. Thank you for that. Thank you. Give me a second. Okay, well, now I'm not sure which one of you this is for, but I think this is for you, Naomi. Yeah, I'm feeling it. Or maybe I got both of them. Maybe I got both of them in here. I actually think I do. So let me go with two different things, because I kept getting this kind of back and forth. So y'all hang with me just a second. Let's see if I can sort this out. I'm so glad y'all are here. Thank you. So one of you, I'm not sure which. I feel, Janine, this is for you, since you probably didn't know him. On some level, I think you did know. And I know it's a weird thing to say, but we know things. And I know you probably know what I'm saying. You seem pretty intuitive yourself there, so I think you know what I'm saying. On some level, he knew. Whether he had actual verification of that, I'm not sure. But it feels to me like if he was speaking right now, he's saying, You wouldn't have liked me. I wasn't who I needed to be, and you would not have liked me. That is the message that's coming through, and I feel that's. I'm not certain, but I think that's for you, Janine. Now I've got another. I can't. I don't know if I'm going back and forth if this is the same person. So y'all bear with me here. Let me see if I can. Good. Yes. Yes. And that's the feeling I got. Just that he just wouldn't have done right by you, as we say here in the South. But here's what I will tell you. But I think later he got his act together. It took him at least into midlife, but I think he did become a better person. I will tell you that. He did become a better person. Yeah, that felt important to say to you. Okay, now wait with me here because I'm trying to keep up with y'all's comments to sort out who's who here in terms of what I'm feeling. Because Naomi, I want to come back to you. Let me see. Okay, so you're saying your father's still living, yes, but you don't talk, and there's a darn good reason you don't talk to him, right? Right? Mm-hmm. You don't need. Yeah. I feel. He's a problem. No, let me restate that. Everybody comes into our life for a reason. Yeah. And I apologize. It's hard for me to filter what I'm saying. I know this is a public forum and I don't want to embarrass anybody or say something that you wouldn't want me to say. So I'll try to. There's. I'm trying to be polite and not say things. You know, there was if you and I were face to face, I'd say what I was going to say there, but I don't want to. This is going to be out in YouTube world. There is a challenge that you deal with. You like. Okay, all right. I feel like you're dealing with some kind of an addiction or substance abuse or something, and I think it started. It might not have started with your dad, but I think it really exacerbated. But I feel like that was really the main reason that it went the direction it did was because of your father. Can you verify for that for me? Thank you. And thank you for letting me share that here. Okay, thank you. I wish, and I certainly don't want to hurt you in any way, but I don't think I'm going to be telling you something you don't know. I don't think he's remorseful. And that hurts me to have to say that to you. Because I will just say this. I've been where you are, not with the addiction part, but I've been there, okay? And oh, awesome. Oh, congrats. Congratulations. It's about the same time my son got clean. Well, actually a little bit longer, but yes. Oh, I'm so happy for you. God bless you. You are going to get stronger. And, people come, what I was going to say was people come into our lives. I'm not going to blame this. I know. Congratulations. I'm not going to say, I don't like to blame. I don't like to blame. Yes, people do shitty stuff. That just, it's what happens. It's life. People do shitty things to good people. So it happened. Okay. But what Spirit's asking you is, who are you now? Who are you in the face of that now? And I know you know that, actually. I know you know that. So I wish I could tell you something better, something nicer that, but I will tell you this, and this is not a platitude. This is something I'm seeing. He will get his. Karma will take care of this. Karma will take care of this. And I think you might actually get to see it. And I'm not saying that from a vengeful place. Please understand, I'm not a vengeful person at all. But I really feel like what goes around comes around, and you'll get to see something in your lifetime. And you'll put the pieces together and say, okay, that was probably karma from what happened. And again, I'm not a vengeful person, but I just know how it works. That's what happens, folks. It just is. Well, I'm sorry your fiance died. I wish I could have brought him through for you today. I wish I could. I know you might have liked to have heard from him, but Spirit gives you who you need to hear from, not who you want to hear from always. So apparently you needed to hear this, maybe to help you let go. And, we don't forgive people for them. I know you've heard this. We forgive people for us so we can move forward with a lighter heart, because resentment and anger and hatred is nothing but poison in the physical body. So I hope that let it go. Let it go, sweetheart. Just do not let that define you the rest of your life. And I'm glad that you're making excellent steps toward thriving. You're not a survivor, you're a thriver. That's what you need to let that be your mantra. You're not going to survive because of anybody. You're going to survive in spite of people sometimes. But yeah, that's what it is. Well, congratulations again. And yeah, don't give that person any more of your energy. It is what it is. It's in the past. Let it go and get on with your life, sweetie. That's my 2 cents worth. Oh, okay. Well, I hope that was helpful. Yes, you will. Absolutely. Spirit is magical how it gives us messages. Oh, what a beautiful gift. And I get asked sometimes about, why did people have to leave and why they have to leave young and all that. Well, we do what we come here to accomplish. It's time to go. It's real simple. So maybe that was part of your fiance's mission for you, was just that, just what you said. Very, very possibly that could have been why. All right. Well, any last question before I wrap this up, guys? It's almost an hour. I can't believe it, but I've enjoyed this immensely. I hope you have. Can't believe my friend didn't come back. I'm going to give her such a hard time. She'll see this video. She'll know. Yes, things do happen the way they're supposed to. That is so very true, in spite of us sometimes. Oh, thank you so much. Well, I hope you'll come back. I'd like to do these again. Yes, I do too. Thank Janine. I wish her the very best. Yes, and you're very welcome, Janine. I'm so glad somebody came through for both of y'all in different ways, but I'm so very glad. I'm glad I could do this, and I hope to do more in the future. We'll see. Yeah, thank you. Yes, please let me know about the dog thing. That's kind of got me curious at best. Okay. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate everybody being here, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Go to share my videos, whatever that whole business is out there. Go ahead and tell people if you like what I do here, and you like my vibe, as they say. I appreciate it very much. And I do other readings. I have my cards all out here. I have my cards ready to go. I do, but I don't think we need them tonight. But maybe in a future reading, I might do, like a live tarot reading or something at some point for, I don't know. I typically do Scorpio readings just because I'm working into this routine slowly, adding all these videos, and I'm old. I got to do it at my pace, not the world's pace. So I'll get there. Okay, guys, I'm going to sign off for tonight. Thank you so much for being here and helping me celebrate my first 1,000 subscribers. And thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So I hope to see you again soon. Let me know in the comments, even after I sign off, if you want to, if you have any afterthoughts and suggestions for topics for future videos. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Janine. I hope to Pisces. All right, I love Pisces. My younger son's a Pisces. Yes, I love Pisces. They're sweet, sweet people. All right, guys. Well, I will see y'all again soon. Thank you so much. Take care. Many blessings. Bye, y'all.